Good morning, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Monday morning. I hope you had a fabulous weekend like we did. It went by too fast, but that's pretty normal, isn't it? I think. It's funny, even though we're retired, we still have weekends. Even though I think every day is Saturday or whatever happens, happens. I don't know. So if you're here with me on Monday, leave me a message or give me a thumbs up so I'll know that you're here. I've been trying to think of something new to do or that we haven't done in a while. And I also realized this weekend that I was out of sympathy cards and thinking of you cards. I don't know how that can happen because I promise, I think I make the most of those of all my cards. That and birthdays. But anyway, we're going to use the Bamboo Beauty for this card today, but you can actually use this technique with quite a few stamps. So I'll show you the first one that I did. This was my practice, and I used Nature's Prints and the Starry Sky cardstock and Starry Sky ink. This is called Faux Silk. Can you see how it looks like fabric? Sort of looks like fabric. And actually that's tissue paper. So I'm going to show you how that works. There's lots of ways you can do it, but we're going to do it. We'll talk about the ways. Just realized I have everything out on my desk except the tissue paper. So let me get that. I thought I was a little more prepared than usual. So this is just regular tissue paper, and we need a piece a little bit larger than your card front. So we'll do it about 4.5. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll cut the second one. Good morning, Tricia and Sandy, Leanne. Robert's here. He's our spotter to make sure that things are working. Now, if you've never done this technique, it's really fun. It's just kind of fun to get a new look with your older products. I could have put some Wink of Stella on this, but since it's a sympathy card, I didn't think it needed too much sparkle. So I've pulled out the Caring Thoughts and the Bamboo, and we'll do some stamping there. This, I'm using Evening Evergreen as my color. I think bamboo can be just about any color you want. Good morning, Karen. Well, Tricia, I expect to see you use this technique sometime this week. How's that? And then we can share ideas. So I'm going to ink up first with Evening Evergreen in the larger bamboo stock, and we'll just, I guess maybe that's the, I don't know if there's a top or a bottom to this, but I like it curved that direction. And I'm going to stamp it again with Stampin' Off. So I've got the lighter bamboo and the darker bamboo. Then I'm going to take this thinner bamboo stalk and stamp it with soft succulent just to give it a little variation in color. And we'll ink that up good. It's very subtle, but it's there. Mercy, I'm not very strong today. Now we've got some of the bamboo leaves, or I guess those are fronds maybe. And we'll add those, stamp off. We just want a pretty bamboo bundle. Have I told you about the bamboo, about the bamboo harvest that we were having class one time at our church, and our church has a huge bamboo spread in the woods. It's just crazy. So it was pouring down rain, and we were all working away, stamping, and I looked up and there was this man standing in the middle of the classroom, and he was all soaking wet and everything, and he was from the zoo in Atlanta. He had come to get the bamboo, but it scared us to death. But it was so cool to get to see them harvest the bamboo for the pandas, but it was kind of scary to see a stranger standing in the middle of your stamping class. So now we've got this bamboo image, and I've got my tissue paper. I'm going to wad it up. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Now, while it's sitting there resting, we're going to take our tombow. We're going to use this end of our tombow. I need a piece of scrap paper too. And we're going to make sure there's no gobby part on there, because you don't want that to get on your oh, I need my I thought I had my silicone mat. Oh, here it is. We want to do that so that we don't get glue all over everything. Now we're going to put some glue on our, now you can do this however you want. Now actually, if you have an old school kids glue stick, this actually works pretty good with a glue stick. I'm going to take this piece of scrap paper and drag the glue so it's smooth and thin. You don't need a huge amount. And now see, that's picked up some green ink, so we don't want to use it again. We'll throw it away. And I think though we've got enough glue on there for our, now I've got my tissue. Oh, I'm glad you're working and watching, Rosalind. Now we want to smooth this out, but we don't want it to be super smooth because we want our wrinkles to stay showing. And I don't know if you can tell, but this tissue paper has like a shiny side and a dull side, and I want the dull side up. Now if you were doing this with a card that you didn't mind it being shiny, that'd probably be okay. Now you don't want to push too hard. You want to just get the tissue paper on there. You don't want to smooth the wrinkles out. You just want to stick them down the way they are, the way they land on your paper. And we'll peel that up. Now you see how it looks like? It gives it that fabric look. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now we're going to turn it over. We're going to turn this over so we don't have glue. Could have cut that a little bit wider, but I think we'll be okay. And we'll fold these edges back. And cut the corners off, just like when you're sewing. You cut that off to cut down on bulk. We'll let the glue catch those edges. Now this is the last, 3 days of celebration. So if there's any of those products that you wanted, you need to get that order in. I did see, I'm pretty sure that the hippo dies are sold out. I'm not sure about the hippo stamp. I know that was very, very popular. And so if you didn't get them, they're gone. This is a neat technique, isn't it, Kay? Of course, now my hands have glue all over them, but it's okay. You can see I had blue ink all over me from the other card. Now we've got a nice edge there, but it still looks silky. Okay, so we can go ahead and put this on our evening evergreen cardstock, and you might want to go ahead and do that while it's still a little damp, because it will curl on you. Of course, you can always put something heavy on it and the curl come out. It's just paper, and paper doesn't like to get wet. Oops, see, there's my sticky fingers. Pulling that up. There we go. That's our background. This is going to be super simple. We're going to add a sentiment. We're going to stamp "Sending Caring Thoughts." And it's kind of a circular sentiment, so I thought we'd die cut it with a scalloped circle. I'm going to have to get this glue off my fingers. If I can get it through the cut and emboss with sticky fingers. That's not super fancy scallops. They're so tiny, they just have a little texture to them. Now, I also wanted to use some vellum behind here to give it just another layer of texture. So I'm going to cut it with the deckled dies, but I'm going to show you how to alter that to make it fit the same vibe and shape of our sentiment. Yes, this sentiment is part of the Bamboo Beauty, okay? It has some really nice sentiments that you can use for several things. Some kind of for thinking of you, and some kind of sympathy. Some pretty good sentiments. Now this is the smallest decal die. I think it's too big. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to run it through again and make it thinner and shorter. So all we have to do is get a section of this. We want it about like that. And we'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. Now we still get the deckled edge, but it's a much smaller piece of vellum. This was just too big, I think. So there, we'll put that on. Now I don't know about this, so we're gonna kind of look at it and see in a minute. I was kind of thinking it might be interesting to have something behind our vellum. And this was laying on my desk, but I don't want it to be white. So I'm going to try it. And I'm not going to use the whole thing. This is from the Nature's Prints. No, this is Splendid Day. And it was just laying here because I must have cut it out and decided not to use it. But don't you think that kind of mimics the shape there of the bamboo fronds? And so I'm going to see what happens if we use some soft succulent on there. Because I didn't want it to be white. Kind of let it be a little bit of we'll see if those work. We might use them, we might not. This actually was a last minute thought. I have a lot of those. But when I've cut a die cut, I want to use it if I can. So we'll see if this looks dumb or like a good idea. We'll put our die cut is vellum, and it's not going to stick with the Tombow. So we're going to put a tiny bit of tear and tape behind it. It won't show because it'll be behind, the circle will be on front of it. Put that right about there. Now let's see what happens if we put a bamboo frond. I think that might look kind of cute. Oh, that actually looks weird. Looks like bird wings. think one is all it needs. Doesn't need 2. 3 is too many, I think. Hi, Sheila. I'm glad you are popping in. Karen, I know you always like to try these new techniques, so you'll have to share when you do this. I think you'll like it. I was wondering, if you get paper pumpkin, they always have tissue paper in them. And sometimes they have, they have yellow or blue or green, all kinds of pretty colors. So that might look nice. Still not super happy with that. Let's try. Yeah, that's going to do it right there. So it needs a little glue on it. We'll just put a little tiny bit. Hi, Cherie and Nancy. Sometimes I'm late, Cherie. It's all right. Now that'll hold that down. Now we're ready to put this on our card front. A little piece of trash. I think this works the best with darker colors, like the Starry Night, Night of Navy. This is Evening Evergreen, Mossy Meadow. I don't know that the pastels or subtles would pop as much, but they might. You just have to see. Now, I told you this is the way I chose to do it. You can also stamp directly on the tissue paper, and then you get a little different look. But I didn't try that this time. Now I'm ready, since this is a thinking of you card, or it could be sympathy. I don't want to put any gobs of bling on here, but I thought these sweet little frosted hearts, that one would be just about right. So we're going to put a little heart here. Bamboos are oriental, pearls are oriental, and these are called heart pearls. So there's our faux silk. Can you see all the wrinkles there now? That little bit of vellum kind of mimics the silky look. And Trish said that was good. Thank you, Trisha. So we've got one in Evening Evergreen and one in Starry Sky. Just totally different cards, but both pretty. Oh, it's got a piece of trash there. I love the way you get that look. Now, I seem to vaguely remember somebody also showing me where once you adhere all of this in the tissue paper and let it dry, you can run it through an embossing folder, but I think that might be just too much. But if you like to get messy and play with glue and ink, and go right ahead and try it and let us know how it works. Now, several of you said you were going to try this, so I want to see how your cards come out. You can post them on my page, or you can email them to me. Whatever makes you happy. I would love to see what you create. Thanks for joining me on this fancy brand new Monday. Bye.